What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Server Error 405. This is the Final Four Sports program. And like always, I can't do this by myself. And I know a lot of people are good at math and they say, wait a minute, there's only three of you. Well, our sports opinion is so strong, it's like having four people, and having Shawn, it's like having two people there at once. So it kind of works out. And speaking of Shawn, you
No,
see him
no.
on
I
YouTube.
refuse.
What? You refuse what? Food?
I
That's
refuse to
never
accept
happened.
that. I refuse to accept that. No, this is just United States math. If this was Canada, we'd have four people.
Well, whatever. You guys are about to be the 51st state anyways, but that's a whole
Carrots.
nother podcast. Shawn Pittman, go ahead and
Oh,
shout. Go ahead and
I'm
shout
out.
out. Shout out. Go play video games. You go ahead and shout out your fucking scrutiny and all the stuff on YouTube. Where can people see you? Let's get it out of the way now.
Yeah, just dropped my latest. Dropped my latest snack scrutiny, a healthy snack again. So you can check that out at Shiny Piece Snack Scrutiny on YouTube. I'm still associated with my boys at View Count, so you can check out View Count on YouTube. What I read, we have some podcasts on there as well. And while you're on Shiny Piece Snack Scrutiny, why not follow along with my weight loss journey? That's why I refuse to accept that I'm two people, but really I am still two people. But we're getting there. We're getting down to one person, so that's also on Shiny Piece Snack Scrutiny under the Shrink Scrutiny playlist.
That's good. You're like 1.5 now, so I kind of take it back halfway.
Oh yeah,
Now,
I'll take that. I'll accept that.
now, someone who's young and in better condition than we are, and hopefully feeling a lot better, we got my boy Bray Dallas. What's good, buddy? How's everything going?
It's going great. We attended a Diddy party yesterday afternoon, and they, hopefully we're all in hopefully we're in the green now. I'm glad to be back, man. It's been too long.
We ain't going nowhere.
That's what's up. So we're gonna do a continuation of our GOAT series, and we're sticking with the NFL. And last week we covered running backs. This week we're going to cover wide receivers. Before we get into the three of us, our opinions, as you can tell, we're missing a couple people. Dior couldn't make it, unfortunately, and also Dre couldn't make it. But Dre did leave his top five, so I just want to put it out there on record for us, so we can probably talk about that too. Number 5, he's got Marvin Harrison. 4, he's got Larry Fitzgerald. 3, he's got Terrell Davis. 2, Jerry Rice. Number 1, Randy Moss. So he obviously can't defend his opinion, but we might just talk a little shit anyways. That's just what we do. But we'll go ahead and start it off with the new guy around here, Shawn Pittman. Shawn Pittman here. What you got? Let's do it like we did last week. We're gonna start at 5, go around the horn, and see what we end up with. So what's your 5?
I think Dre didn't want to join this show with a list like that. He there's no way he's going to defend it. No, I'm just kidding. I got a couple of guys on my list that's on that list. But number 5 for me is definitely going to be ultra bias, a major heart pick for me. However, I do have definitive arguments on why this should be number 5. Most people probably wouldn't even have him in his top 10. He's definitely top 10. I have him in my top 5. Obviously, I couldn't put him 4-1. So my pick for number 5, and if you guys got a problem, you can ice up, son, is my favorite NFL player of all time.
I knew it.
Agent 89, Steve Smith Sr. Now, here's my reason. Hold on. It's getting a little warm up in here. I gotta take my hoodie off here. Hey, 8 months ago, this jersey wouldn't even get over my neck. So we're feeling pretty good, all right? It's a little old, but it's my boy Steve Smith Sr. Here is the hill I'm going to stand on and die on.
Yeah.
He's top 10 in receiving yards all time, 14,731. That puts him at 8th. 12th in reception yards, 81 receiving touchdowns, 7th in all-purpose yards at almost just over 19,000, 1,000 all-purpose yards in 11 different seasons, 1,900 of his 4 of his first 5 seasons. He's 5 Pro Bowls, 2 first-team All-Pro. He was drafted in the 3rd round at 74th overall. He has the football Triple Crown, which is a bit elusive. He did that in 2005, his best year. Comeback Player of the Year that year. And he did this all at 5'9", 195 pounds, with Jake Delhomme as his quarterback and a rookie and early seasons Cam Newton. Now, I love Cam Newton, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't as good as throwing the ball as he was as running it. And Steve Smith wasn't on the MVP Cam Newton season of 2015, which I believe if he was, they would have won the Super Bowl that year. And he is among the GOATs, probably top 3 trash talker of all time. He literally had Akeem Talib sit down in a game and couldn't finish a game they played against each other because he trash talked him so well that Belichick was just like, you just got to chill out because he's destroying you in trash talk, which is getting in your head. And he might be the greatest competitor in NFL. I'm not the only one who agrees with that. I've been doing my research, and a lot of people say that. So I have my boy, 5'9", 195, Steve Smith Sr. Injuries riddled him a bit, unfortunately, but he's my number 5.
Okay. It's not bad. He's definitely one of the greats. Bray, who you got at 5?
My number 5, I'm gonna have to take Marvin Harrison. I think Marvin Harrison is a very slept on name, who deserves to be up there. Just what he did in his career was he did a lot of great things in his career. So I think he deserves to be at number 5.
Okay. Fair. I love Marvin Harrison. I used to have him on my fantasy team back in the day, and he did really well for me. And he is very slept on. My number 5 is going to surprise you just off the fact that how low I have him. I have Terrell Owens as number 5. He played 14 seasons. He had almost 16,000 yards. I think he's a great player, but he's also, I did a little research last night and looked at each year. And the first few years for Terrell, like T.O. didn't really do that well starting out. But then once he fucking kicked it in, he fucking, just took off. He was a part of, great teams. I think that he's a guy I would have liked to see win more championships, but I don't think he's as good as the other guys that I have listed above for my list, but he's definitely there. It was actually a toss-up between him and Isaac Bruce because I think Isaac Bruce was nice. I almost put Bruce at 5 just for the fact that he won a Super Bowl. But, their numbers are pretty much identical outside of the fact that Bruce played like one more season. So that's kind of why I put Bruce there, below Owens. But yeah, that's my 5. So number 4, Pittman, who you got?
So I'm not going to be surprised by T.O. being at number 5 for you because I actually have him at number 4.
Oh, okay.
So like you've already given his stats, and that would put him third all time in yards. And he's only one of 2 to get 200 receiving yards in a game. And I love those guys, again, the trash talkers, those cocky guys. No one was better than T.O. Slamming the ball down on the Dallas Cowboys star. Yeah. And of course, then he joined the team. But that's ballsy. And the guys like that, you got to love. And then he gets on and cries about his teammate and his quarterback. And I can look past that. But not enough to put him above 4. So okay. T.O. is my number 4.
T.O.'s your 4. And the one thing I've noticed about your rankings, you add the trash talkers. So basically, if they trash talk, that's a big bonus for you too.
Big fan of the trash talkers.
I love it too. Yeah. All right, bro, who you got it for?
And my number 4, he's going to be a guy who's going to be probably, I imagine, your guys' top 3. It's Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson would have been a lot higher had he not had the injuries that affected him to kind of shorten his career. Just injuries really riddled him, but if he doesn't get hurt, man, he'd be talked about as the GOAT, honestly. Like, just that short period of time that we had, like, a prime Megatron on the field, untouchable.
Yeah.
But because of injuries, I just can't make the argument to put him above my guys in the top 3.
Okay. That's a great take. I'll talk about that more because I do have him listed, but I don't have him listed at 4 because that spot's reserved for Larry Fitzgerald. He played 17 seasons, almost 18,000 yards. He really, for playing in like Arizona, he really did his thing. Like, it's kind of like with Steve Smith in Carolina. You know what I
Oh yeah.
mean? Like Fitzgerald would have these monster games out of nowhere. Like I remember like a lot of night games. I also had him on my fantasy team, like a lot of people did back then. And he would just pop off, you know,
Mhm.
like he couldn't miss a pass. It doesn't matter if it's over his head. Seems like he's going to catch everything. You know what I mean? I really was like a big fan of him. And I think he's kind of in that same category. Like, even though he has a shit ton of yards, he never gets talked about as one of the greats. Like, in the GOAT conversation, it's always other people like listed over him. People will say Terrell Owens before they'll say Larry Fitzgerald, just because Owen spent most of his time in like Dallas and, you know, Philadelphia, whatever. But yeah, so I got Fitzgerald at 4. All right, so number 3, Pittman, who you got?
Number 3, I hate it, but I loved in 2017 because he never got what he wanted. Randy Moss, I actually have at number 3.
Okay.
6 consecutive seasons with over 1,300 yards, one of 5 players in the 15,000 reception yards, second all time in receiving TDs, 6 Pro Bowls. You can't deny how good Randy Moss was on either team he played for. Again, he was pretty good with the trash talk. He was pretty good at the gestures. Hey, my trash talk ends, I think, definitely at number 2. He was pretty good at the gestures when he mooned the crowd.
Yeah, I
I don't know
remember
if you
that.
guys remember that one.
I remember that.
And then what was it? Randy Moss used to do this, I believe.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember watching that Super Bowl when he lost and Patriots fans were getting sad, and I was like, ugh. So yeah, Randy Moss. Again, you can't deny his numbers. You can't deny his skill. He was on some pretty decent teams. I mean, you play with Tom Brady, and you're
Yeah.
gonna be good, right? So Randy Moss, number 3.
And briefly too, it wasn't like he spent a lot of time, you know,
Yeah,
in New England, but
Right.
still, you know, playing with Tom Brady was pretty great.
yeah.
Bray, who you got?
My number 3 is going to be Larry Fitzgerald. To all the stats like you mentioned, server, but there's an interesting fact out there. Larry Fitzgerald. When you talk about consistency, here's a stat that he has. He has more tackles in his career than dropped passes.
Wow, that's a hell of a stat.
I
You want to
forgot
talk?
about that stat.
You want to
Wow.
talk about consistency? That was consistency at its best, and he just did it he did it for a long time too. Like he had a rather lengthy career, and just being able to do that in Arizona like
In
he
Arizona.
said,
Yeah, in Arizona.
it's a hell of an impressive thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I 1,000% agree with you. Just the fact in Arizona, like holy
yeah,
shit.
in Arizona.
Yeah. So my number 3 is Megatron. Pretty much everything Bray said is what I 1,000% agree on that. He only played 9 seasons. He racked up almost 12,000 yards. Just like Bray said, he had all the injuries. But when you look at his seasons, like when he was playing, he was balling like every year. Like
Mm-hmm.
he would be the number 1, like over Rice, without a question. Like you
Oh,
could just look at his stats and try to do the math. Like if he's averaging this much each season, what would he finish with? He would clear over 20K without an issue. And that's 9 seasons in. Jerry Rice played 20. So, he was just a great, phenomenal talent. And he was in Detroit. And
yep.
who the fuck was throwing to him? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like
Matt
they had
Castle.
like fucking. I think Pittman was throwing for him at one point, one season.
Hey,
But
I would have went down as the greatest of all time in Detroit.
you would have. You're built like Jerome Bettis. All right, so who you got number 2?
Number 2, you guys have already said it. I guess we're going in order here because you had 4, you had 3. I'm putting Larry Fitz at 2. I am a huge Larry Fitzgerald fan. And that stat, I remember now, Bray, when you said more tackles than drop passes. That's when I'm like, okay, he could. There's only one person better than Larry Fitz, in my opinion. And so he was sure-handed. He was so sure-handed. 11 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pro. He led the NFL in catch and receive twice, second all time. So there you go. That's why he's at number 2, second all time receptions. Now you're right. He did have a pretty long career. Loyalty is a big thing for me too. He stuck with Arizona for that whole time. Second all time in yards, 10 playoff TDs in 9 games. And you guys said it. He did this in Arizona of all places. Larry Fitzgerald is a pretty hard person to beat for me when it comes to all-time wide receivers.
Yeah, and the fact that he wasn't really, like you said, loyalty. Like he
Yeah.
stayed forever in Arizona and really was trying to like get a championship, and I think deep down he probably realized that it's not going to happen, but he was so loyal to that city, like he just stuck around, you know what I mean?
And
So
and then of course he's not my trash talker. He's like the nicest guy.
he really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the
So
least the
yeah,
least
he's
trash
like
talking guy.
yeah.
All right, Bray, who you got? Two.
My number two is going to be Randy Moss. I think that's about as simple as it gets, really. Like, you bring up all the stats and all the things that I mean, he was the human highlight reel back in the day. You wanted to watch a highlight game, you were watching Randy Moss play the wide receiver position back then.
Yeah.
Just his days in Minnesota. I can't remember. Was it that Thanksgiving Day game or whatever where he had like that insane stat line? Like, I can't remember the stat line off the top of my head, but it was like a wild stat line he had that one day.
I
And
think it
it's
was
just like,
Thanksgiving, or maybe it was a Monday night game or something. I remember it was
mhm.
like a standalone game. It wasn't like a
Yeah,
regular Sunday game.
yeah, just like stuff like that you see every year, and everybody's trying to do like I mean, like Joe said in our group chat, they literally have a thing on ESPN called "You Got Mossed." So
Yeah. And I'll piggyback off of that because I got Moss at two as well. I feel like with my number five, I could interchange it kind of like with the running backs.
mhm.
I can interchange, but number two, like Moss is literally like my favorite wide receiver. Like just as a fan, like I watched him when I was younger, and just he was just a great player. Like just fun. Like he was like the video game in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like everything about what he did, the trash talk, Sean Pittman, like everything Moss put on the field. Like I would have loved to see him win like championships as well. He deserved it, but it just wasn't in the cards. Seeing him and Brady play was kind of cool. I wish they actually played together longer and earlier in Moss's career, because I think that would have been fucking scary. Yeah, I got Moss at two. So I'm pretty sure it's safe to say we all got the same number one. Pittman, who you got?
It was like the running back one all over again. Oh, excuse me. Wow, I
Hey,
really apologize, folks.
there you go.
It's
Welcome
like
to
the
the
running back
podcast.
all over again. You can't Google. You Google to do some research. You can't Google greatest wide receivers of all time and ignore this because it's there. It's like Googling the most famous food eaten around the world, and it's rice. Jerry Rice, ladies. Well, I think
There you go.
Jerry Rice. It's impossible not to have Jerry Rice at number one, if you ask me. All-time leader in receiving yards, almost 23,000 receiving yards, almost 200 TDs, 11 All-Pro, 13 Pro Bowls, 3 Super Bowls, Super Bowl MVP, and he leads the postseason also in receiving yards and TDs as well. If you pick, I'm surprised that Jerry Rice wasn't top on all 4 lists because you read one list and it wasn't Jerry Rice. So,
Yeah.
I mean, respect for Randy Moss, of course, but yeah, what else can I say? It's Jerry Rice.
Yeah, Bray, what do you got to say about Jerry Rice?
like kind of like Pittman was saying, like when I was doing my research a little bit earlier today, you cannot go to an article, you cannot go to Google without Jerry Rice being the headline picture on your screen. Any article you go to, Jerry Rice is there. His insane stats are there. He leads in everything. You just can't deny it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, even though I hate the guy, because I'll never forget, even to this day, them beating the Broncos in the Super Bowl 55-10.
Oof.
And ever since that moment, I hated Joe Montana. I hated Jerry Rice. That's the only time I've ever watched a sporting event with my team that I actually cried. I was also very young at the time, but I fucking cried because that was fucking crazy. 55-10. It just stuck with me. But not taking anything away from him as a player. I mean, when you look at, he's won 3 championships. He played 20 seasons, got like 23,000 yards, leading the league in overall all-time yards, which we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I just can't imagine anybody in the right mind putting, Moss. I wish Dre was here to defend that take, but it's impossible to put anyone else over Jerry Rice because it's clear. You look at season by season, what he did, his numbers, like there's no comparison. The only other comparison would be Megatron if you
Right.
look at it. That would be the only comparison. Everything else is just,
And Dre didn't even put him in his own category like he did for
for Jim Brown.
Jim Brown. Yeah.
Yeah. That's he should have did that. So when I'm talking about Rice, who's gonna catch him? So I was looking at some of the active people right now, and we got the top one that's active is Julio Jones. I think it was Julio Jones.
I think he's at a gap. I don't see him catching.
Yeah, it's if he did 1,000 yards every year for the next 9 years.
Okay, okay. So
that would put him in the league for 21 years and still be 100 yards short. Hopkins, 1,000 a year, it'd take him 10 years. That would be 21 years in the league. Mike Evans, same thing, 1,000 to take him 10 years, so be in the league 20 years. Devontae Adams, take him 11 years, be 21 years in the league. Tyreek Hill, it would take him 11 years to do it, and that would put him in the league for 18 years. And then Diggs, 1,000, take him 12 years, 21 years in the league. So that on its own, with current players that are close, close is very generous word, but who can actually try to make an attempt. I mean, Jerry played 20 years. So, some of these guys could probably play, 18, 19 years barring injury, but it just shows you how far off people are. It's kind of like with Gretzky, in hockey, like
don't get me started.
Yeah, I know. Like who catches Gretzky in all the categories that Gretzky leads in? He leads a lot of them by like a country mile.
Yeah, that said, I didn't think anyone was ever going to pass his goals record, but there's so many more records.
But look how long it took, though. And how many more records he has. Like,
and here's my argument. I guess my agreeing with you, but the game is evolving in football. Wide receiver is not the only like elite position anymore, because not all quarterbacks are the best top throwers, because we are having more well-rounded quarterbacks who can throw and run more often now. So they're not throwing as much. So you're not going to get the big numbers for wide receivers, and like running backs taking over, a few years. Like, it's a different game than it was, I think, especially when Jerry Rice played. So wide receivers aren't going to grab those big numbers like he did. I mean, it may change things, pendulum swing, but it's going to be a while, I think, if ever someone catches up to him like Gretzky, who, off topic, but you're talking goats. There's no greater goat in all sports than Wayne Gretzky.
I agree with that. I mean, he's the goat of goats, I guess. People would.
That's what I call him. I always call him the goat of goats.
Yeah, like even if you if you say LeBron's your goat, Jordan's your goat, or whatever, like it's very close. With Gretzky, there isn't really any conversation.
No.
And you look at all sports, like there's certain things, and I think for me, like Jerry Rice there's no conversation. Like he's clear.
Yeah, no. There's no conversation. But like the only person when you were naming the names, the only person I think could like kind of maybe hit that close is maybe Mike Evans, because he's every year in his career he's hit the 1,000 mark. And he's not a guy that's getting hurt a lot. He's not a guy that's missing a lot of activity. So maybe if he just plays it out longevity wise, he could hit that number. That's still a stretch, though. You said what, 10? It would take him 10 seasons.
Yeah, and he'll be in the league for 20 years at that point.
Yeah, he could get close. He could be like Kobe to Jordan, like almost there, but not.
Right.
Maybe pass a couple of things, but I guess Kobe passed Jordan in points, but you know what I mean. Yeah. He's a big boy too. I like Mike Evans, and as a divisional foe, Mike Evans is a pretty impressive player.
And he's also kind of slept on too, because a lot of people don't expect a lot, like stat wise. Like I'm speaking more like fantasy football, and when you just look at his numbers, it's like he produces. He's not a big flashy guy like the Mosses in the day, but like he does. He kind of like he's the guy that clocks in, does his job, and goes home.
I forget about him almost every time until Carolina plays Tampa Bay, and I'm like, damn it, Mike Evans.
Then you remember. You remember him. I don't know. I think it's very tough for a lot of these, especially like you got these young running backs, a lot of young receivers coming into the league that are great, But then you just think like, okay, how great can they possibly be? Because when we talk about great receivers, it's the people that we all named, whatever order you put them in, all those guys are just the goats of the NFL. So what player that's let's just say he's been in the league for like a year or two, like Marvin Harrison Jr., type of guy. Who do you think off the top of your head, would be maybe kind of close, like to kind of get there? It's kind of a hard ask, but we want to look at the future here, and maybe someone can take somebody out there in top 10.
And current wide receivers.
Current, yeah. Besides the ones I named, because they've been in the league for a good minute. You know what I mean? They've been in the league for like 8-9 years already. So I mean, is there any rookie standout? Anybody that stands out to you that that they might have a little action yards wise?
Puka Nakua, maybe. He's only 24.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
I was racking my brain. Puka's been really good to me in fantasy.
Amon-Ra, he's not very old.
Okay. I think Puka, as long as he's not like injury prone guy, I think he would have a legit shot at getting at least in the top, 5 or whatever.
Right. I mean, there are some young guys though. There are some good young guys. Like Brian Thomas Jr. had a really good season for the Jags last year. And then, I mean, like we're saying, that's for the Jags. Marvin Harrison, that's all depending on if Kyler Murray can play his game. Like Kyler Murray, like I said, I think he needs to lock in because they could honestly win that division this year. I know it's like kind of off topic, but the Cardinals could win the NFC West this year.
I mean, it's said every year. If Kyler Murray can step it up, that's the thing. That it's not like they have a horrible roster, and it's all on Kyler at this point.
Yeah,
but
it's always been like that with him. It's hit and miss. Like everyone wants him to be like a Jalen Hurts or something. You know what I mean? Like be like that next up type player.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He's not.
He doesn't take
up
that
to
step
it.
up.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is.
I don't know. And it takes forever for some guys, and then once they hit their stride, because I still have faith in guys like Trevor Lawrence. Like I think he could. Mm-hmm. I mean, he did have that one good season, and then kind of bounced back this past season. But
he needs to have a breakout year. That's a guy that needs to need to like show the fuck up, because so many people are hanging on to that one good year. And I think he's a good quarterback, and I think there's a lot of potential there. And we're all like holding on to that because we know that what he's capable of. But if he doesn't do it this season, then I don't know, man. Yeah. He's in that fucking Herbert category for me. Like below that.
Yeah.
And people love, I don't know what it is, dude. People love Justin Herbert, man.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And I just look at it like, okay, he's athletic, but like he hasn't done anything. Like he's just kind of there.
Right. He's just like a jar of mayonnaise just sitting on the field, like just there's nothing to him. Like I don't
You guys aren't getting the squirt bottle mayonnaise, man. It's way easier to apply.
We got him over here.
Who's the squirt bottle mayonnaise in the NFL?
The squirt bottle mayonnaise. That's what we're gonna call the plain vanilla fucking white guys. Just a squirt bottle of mayonnaise. Just
squirt bottle of mayonnaise. The squirt bottle of mayonnaise is the guy who has like 2 good seasons.
2 good seasons, just sitting there squirting. Anyways, all right. So I think that's about. I think that's good. We got everything in there. We got about 7 minutes left. I want to thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you both. Hopefully we get Pittman again next week. I do like hearing you talk about sports. And he is my partner in the King of Queens conversation, which you could also see here on the YouTube channel,
where we talk about heifer legs.
There we go. We finally got him in. See, I set you up perfect for that one. We finally got him in the sports show. Heifer legs is very underrated. And Bray, you can catch him also not just here, but also on the Heel Club YouTube channel. Doing
also
some
Scaranoia.
Scaranoia. Yep, I like it. Your setup is different over there. You got like you're hiding out here on the sports show. Over there, you got like a whole fucking streamer set up, background, everything. Over here, you're like got the hood on, just hiding out.
You gotta go theme.
Yeah, I like the theme. I mean, I blur my background because I don't have anything going on back there. But you
Right.
got a whole Pittman's got a whole setup. Like he's.
Oh, let me show you something from last week that I wasn't home, so I couldn't show you.
All right, let's see.
We got a few minutes, so let me
They'd look better if they were Bronco helmets. Just saying.
give you a little preview.
Oh, okay. That's Barry Sanders. Okay, I got my attention back.
He's the Lion King.
Oh, nice.
Damn, that shit's slick. I can't even lie.
Yeah, for $35, didn't hurt, right?
That's all you paid for that?
Well, it was a raffle.
Oh man, that you know how much that shit's worth?
I know.
That's signed by Barry, right?
Yeah, Barry Sanders, and this will give you extra money. Stuff like this, the Lion King.
Oh, the Lion King, yeah.
Holy I did try to sell it a couple times, to be honest with you, but I'm kind of glad.
What was the price?
I'm asking $700 for something like this.
Yeah, I would go a little higher, honestly.
Yeah, I might actually if I go to sell it again.
Because that's kind of a steal at $700 too.
But that's items like this, like that's a replica. So if it was an authentic one, it'd be more like my Luke Kuechly's an authentic one, but I'm never selling that. So
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
you're like fuck Barry. He was a Detroit Lion.
Well, Barry will get me a little more than Luke Kuechly too, even if that's authentic.
Why do you? I got a couple minutes left. I'm curious. Why do you like the Panthers, Mr. Canadian?
So here's the sitch. Being Canadian, we can pick whoever we want. A lot of us default to the Bills because they're the closest team. Okay. I didn't get into football, like I said, until 2023. And the first Super Bowl I ever watched was Panthers Patriots 2003. Sorry. They were the 02 Super Bowl. 02 year, 03 Super Bowl, whatever. So I was like, hey, this Panther guy look okay, but I still didn't choose them. And then I started to work at a summer camp in Carolina in 2005. And I was like, I need a team. So I chose the Panthers. And I was like, I'm a pretty loyal guy. So I stuck it out. And then I always saying, I'm a Panthers fan, even though they were bad for so many years. And then 2015 really got into my blood system. That team was so much fun to watch. And since then, I've been like diehard Panthers only for me. So
you know that was a pretty good year. They went to the Super Bowl. How did they do in the Super Bowl?
If they had Steve Smith, they would have won.
And they faced a really, really, really good team.
I can't remember who it was they faced that year.
Mm-hmm.
Some I don't know, but
yeah,
I just bought a new Ford Bronco.
All right, we talked about OJ last week, so
and it's a great vehicle, the Bronco. It's a winner. The Bronco is a winner, so I just wanted to give a shout out.
Sound like Trump right there.
The Bronco.
It's a winner.
Huge vehicle. Actually, it's not huge at all. It's
all right. Well, the Broncos, you don't have to worry about the Broncos. That 2015, that was in the past, but just worry about them this season because we're going to win it again.
How did that team win a Super Bowl and Peyton Manning not be a factor? That's the mind-blowing thing.
Because our defense was fucking insane.
It was unbelievable, right? Von Miller was unbelievable. But that's the thing. This is why I say if Steve Smith was on the team, I watched highlights, obviously, of my boy Steve last night because I go down a rabbit hole and I couldn't watch. I was tearing up. Anyway, he was taking care of Von Miller in these highlights too. So I'm like, you know what? If Steve was on in 2015, maybe Cam wouldn't have got afraid of a fumble and jumped away. We can't talk. Let's not talk.
What's that saying? If ifs and buts for candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Then every day will be to Dunk Fest. That's an Office reference, buddy.
I know. And then you just call it Muck Duck.
Muck Duck. Ours among the most menacing of letters.
Whatever. I don't even know what we're talking about right now. I think it's better that we go. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Have a good rest of your day.